Hey there, fellow gardeners. If you're watching this on the Soil Sensei channel, you know we're all about making gardening easier, more productive, and way more fun. Today, I'm diving deep into one of my absolute favorite crops, peppers. Whether you're growing sweet bells, fiery habaneros, or anything in between, these spicy beauties can throw some real curveballs your way. I've been growing peppers for over a decade, and trust me, I've made every mistake in the book. But here's the thing. Every failure taught me something valuable that I'm excited to share with you today. These aren't just theoretical tips from a textbook. These are battle-tested solutions that have saved countless pepper harvests in my own garden and those of fellow Soil Sensei community members. Let's start with the heartbreaker blossom end rot. You know the scene. Your peppers are finally forming, you're dreaming of that first harvest, and then you spot it. That dark, sunken spot on the bottom of your beautiful pepper that makes your gardening heart sink. Here's what most gardeners don't realize. Blossom end rot isn't actually a disease, it's a calcium deficiency. But here's the kicker, it's usually not because your soil lacks calcium, it's because your plant can't absorb the calcium that's already there. The culprit? Inconsistent watering. My foolproof solution starts with deep, infrequent watering rather than frequent shallow drinks. I water my peppers thoroughly twice a week, soaking the soil to about 8 inches deep. Between waterings, I let the top inch dry out, but never more than that. This consistent moisture level allows those roots to do their job and transport calcium efficiently throughout the plant. I also swear by adding a 2-inch layer of organic mulch around each plant. Straw, shredded leaves, or even cardboard work wonders for maintaining that steady soil moisture. And here's a pro tip from my years of trial and error. If you're growing in containers, check them daily. Container peppers are particularly susceptible to the wet-dry cycle that triggers blossom end rot. Nothing's more frustrating than lush, green pepper plants that look absolutely gorgeous but refuse to set fruit. I see this question constantly in our Soil Sensei community, and there are usually 3 culprits behind this mysterious non-production. First, let's talk about temperature stress. Peppers are surprisingly picky about their comfort zone. When nighttime temperatures consistently drop below 55 degrees or climb above 75 degrees, pepper plants often drop their flowers before they can set fruit. During those unpredictable spring nights, I protect my plants with row covers or even old bed sheets. For excessive heat, I've found that 30% shade cloth during the hottest part of the day can work miracles. The second issue is often nitrogen overload. Yes, you can actually love your peppers to death with too much fertilizer. When plants get excessive nitrogen, they put all their energy into producing beautiful foliage instead of flowers and fruits. If your plants are deep green and bushy but flowerless, cut back on the nitrogen-rich fertilizers and switch to something higher in phosphorus to encourage blooming. Lastly, some pepper varieties are simply slow starters. I learned this the hard way with super hot varieties like ghost peppers and Carolina Reapers. These plants can take 120 days or more from transplant to first harvest, so patience isn't just a virtue, it's a requirement. Mark your calendar and trust the process. Let's tackle the usual suspects that love to crash our pepper parties. Aphids are probably the most common uninvited guests, and honestly, they multiply faster than rabbits at a carrot convention. My go-to solution is refreshingly simple. Just blast them off with a strong spray from your garden hose every few days. Most aphids can't climb back up the plant, and this method is completely organic and cost-effective. Now, for more persistent aphid problems, I make a simple spray using 1 tablespoon of liquid dish soap mixed with a quart of water. I like to spray this directly on affected areas in the early morning or late evening to avoid leaf burn. The soap disrupts their soft bodies, and within a few applications, your aphid problem typically resolves itself. Hornworms are another story entirely. These green caterpillars are masters of camouflage and can strip a plant overnight. I've found that early morning inspections are crucial. Look for their telltale black droppings on leaves below where they're feeding. Hand-picking is the most effective method, though I know some gardeners find this squeamish. If that's you, BT, or Bacillus thuringiensis, spray is an organic alternative that specifically targets caterpillars without harming beneficial insects. Here's where the magic really happens. Most gardeners harvest their peppers too early or too late, missing out on peak flavor and maximum yield. The secret lies in understanding that peppers continue to ripen after picking, but only if they've reached a certain maturity level. For sweet peppers, I harvest when they're full-sized but still green if I want a crisp texture and mild flavor. But here's what transformed my pepper game. Leaving some peppers on the plant to fully mature to their final color dramatically improves their nutritional value and flavor complexity. A red bell pepper has significantly more vitamin C and a much sweeter taste than its green counterpart. Hot peppers follow different rules entirely. For maximum heat, let them ripen completely on the plant until they reach their mature color. However, if you want a milder version of the same variety, harvest them while still green. I often harvest about half of my hot peppers early and let the rest fully ripen, giving me a range of heat levels from the same plant. Regular harvesting is crucial for continuous production. When you leave mature peppers on the plant too long, the plant assumes its reproductive job is done and stops producing new flowers. I make it a habit to harvest something from each plant at least twice a week during peak season. The foundation of great pepper production starts beneath the surface, and after years of experimenting, I've discovered that peppers prefer slightly different conditions than many other garden vegetables. They thrive in well-draining soil with a pH between 6.0 and 6.8, which is slightly more acidic than what many vegetables prefer. My soil preparation routine begins weeks before transplanting. I work in plenty of compost, but I also add a handful of bone meal to each planting hole. This slow-release phosphorus source encourages strong root development and flower production without the nitrogen overload that can delay fruiting. During the growing season, I feed my peppers every 3 weeks with a balanced fertilizer, but I switch to a low-nitrogen, high-potassium blend once the first fruits begin forming. Potassium is crucial for fruit development and helps plants resist stress from heat and drought. One game-changing technique I stumbled upon accidentally involves strategic stress. About 3 weeks before your first expected frost, stop watering your hot pepper plants, but not sweet peppers. This controlled stress triggers the plants to produce more capsaicin, resulting in significantly hotter peppers. I've measured increases of 20 to 30% in heat levels using this method. There you have it, fellow gardeners. My collection of pepper growing wisdom earned through years of successes, failures, and everything in between. These aren't just tips, they're solutions to real problems that every pepper grower faces. Remember, gardening is a journey, and every season teaches us something new. If these pepper hacks helped you out, or if you have your own techniques to share, drop a comment below. I love learning from this amazing Soil Sensei community. Don't forget to subscribe for more practical gardening solutions and share this video with anyone who could use a pepper growing boost. Until next time, keep growing and keep learning.